Yeah, we're live. We're starting the podcast. This is the 2026 mock draft. It's been a few years. It's been a hot minute since we started
Two
AGML.
seasons.
Well, I mean,
Didn't do one last season.
yeah. But I mean, it's also, we're quite a few years in AGML now.
That's true. That's true.
Like, you're starting to see, like, some of our first year picks, our draft picks starting to get old, starting to regress a little. It's kind of weird. It's bittersweet. But
Yeah.
anyways, these are probably some of the last crop of guys who will get to that level of starting to get mature, completely
hmm
mature. So it's kind of exciting. Um, one of the last.
With the apex of
hmm
the league.
So we'll see if any of these guys will turn out to be legends. Um, First off, obviously, we're waiting on the draft to start for this pick, so I should probably just shut up and get on with it. We have the Giants, who just traded everything except this pick to get a whole team, basically. Traded quite a few firsts, but they're still missing that quarterback after uh, trading away Ricky Bishop. And I think is one waiting here just for him. Think you gotta go with Fordham. He's just way too good. Fordham, I don't have any of his because the draft's not started and we're in limbo between uh the or we're in Madden limbo. There we go. Now I can actually see the board. Um, yeah, he's out of Stanford. He's got a really sneaky little combine. He's actually his 20 yards up there with some actual skill players. Like he's pretty good. He's pretty fast. He's faster than a lot of receivers, which is
Yeah.
actually insane. This dude's
He's what McCarron was. He would be McCarron if he was 21,
mhm.
essentially.
So like if McCarron was 24 when he got drafted. Imagine if McCarron was 21. Like that
Yeah,
would be
this
so
is.
broke. Fordham's I think the clear number one. Like the other quarterback, Gilmore, he's good. I like him a lot, but like Fordham's next level good. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna be honestly like I'm. Oh, he's been. Wait,
He's
what? Okay, good. It was a glitch. It didn't take him off
he's
my
been he
draft
has
board.
been he's been selected.
He's been
He has
selected
been selected. We just getting this now in.
live.
Oh, oh no.
Oh
Oh
God.
God. The news is breaking.
Oh no. I thought he was.
Fordham does not have Dev.
He's gonna be a hair and roll. He's gonna be a hair and roll
The
guy.
Bills are on the clock, so we should move on to that next pick.
Damn.
Fordham, the consensus number one coming in, does not have Dev. So who do the Bills take, Tyler, with the number two pick following this?
Of course, I think. Well, what I think he should do, I don't think he goes with what I believe he's gonna do. Which I think he's gonna probably go with Gilmore, the other good quarterback here. I
I
don't
agree.
think Gilmore. For me, Gilmore's not who I want. But I think Raymond Garrett, he's a premier pass rusher. He's cousins with Miles Garrett, who just got over 20 sacks this last season. Insane. This is just another specimen from that line. He's just so quick, he's so fast, and he's so strong. He has that really good finesse moves to complement all of his physical specimens. He's exactly what I want with this number two pick. I love him. I think he should go to, but I think it's actually going to go to Gilmore.
Yeah, I have Gilmore going here for the last season. Like honestly, 2 seasons. Kyle has not been happy with the production that Josh Allen has shown. Granted, if he does go Gilmore, he's basically getting another Josh Allen. He's the strong arm archetype. He's 21 coming in. He's got good accuracy deep down the field. But I just think, regardless, he's so sick of Allen,
hmm
and he wants to switch it over and see if that can lead this team to another division title that hasn't happened since the second season.
Sure. yeah, that was partially why I didn't give him Gilmore. Because it's like I look at him, it's like this guy just looks like he's gonna be Josh Allen too. I think he
Hmm.
wants something else, and he couldn't get it through Fordham. Like Fordham is what I think he would have really wanted. Me, I think he does go Gilmore, but I just love Garrett. Next up, we have the Bears, and the reason why I was talking about Gilmore so much is because I think Gilmore fits perfectly here with the Bears. If Bills do go what I would do and go Garrett, again,
Hmm.
I'm not the Bills, so that's his decision. But again, Bears would be extremely happy if they could get Gilmore because they've been struggling in quarterback limbo. They tried Drew Lock, they couldn't quite make him get back to his. Ooh, we have a pick. We do have a pick, and he listened to me. Wow,
Wow. Oh wow, that is
I
interesting.
love that pick. He's 79 overall. I
Interesting.
told you he's a beast. I don't know his dev yet, but I love Gilmore or
79.
Garrett.
No, Kyle. Is this another normal? Oh gosh. Well, we'll continue this. So, you are 2 for 2. I have
No.
already missed out on Gilmore. I thought both quarterbacks would go 1-2, but I had the Bears going the cornerback Booker.
I love Booker,
Yes.
but
Uh, so nice mocking so far, Tyler. I like Booker. I think he's the best corner in this draft. And the best position that the Bears could address in the
mhm.
backfield. It's hard. It's hard to dev secondary, and Booker just all the way down has the skill set that you need to become that number one corner. But now we'll see what happens. That quarterback, that second quarterback, is still on the board.
So it's I mean I think I don't know. Let's see if there's been an update yet. There's an up. Okay, Raymond Garrett is officially a hidden dev.
Okay,
So
good,
Garrett
good, good,
is
good.
a stud. I'm so glad he's good. I just could see it, but he was gonna be a premier pass rusher. Love him to death.
Hmm.
Great pick. I'm glad he took. I don't know if he took my advice. I hope not. Maybe he's listening, and it's like,
I mean,
damn.
yeah, maybe he's listening. Who knows?
Shout out,
We're doing something different.
shout out to the
We're
Bills.
doing something different
No
here.
one circles the
All
wagons
right.
quite like you.
Let's move on to the Seahawks.
Us.
With this one, they still need a quarterback. A lot of people in the top need a quarterback. For us, both of the quarterbacks are off
Hmm.
the board. We'll see if the Bears end up taking that quarterback. I had them taking Garrett at 4.
Unfortunately,
I think that
in
the
this,
Seahawks,
yeah,
I think they would have fell, but
in,
fortunately that was wrong.
in this universe, he does not get that far down.
No, he definitely does not, and he definitely didn't deserve to fall that far down. I just thought that with Teddy Kane
Hmm.
on the right side, a Garrett on the left end would have really solidified that defensive line. They're really young there, and I think all kind of growing together would look amazing.
Yeah,
Fortunately, it just didn't work out this time. Who did you have Brian taking?
I had Booker. He has some all right corners. Nothing like amazing. Nothing you can't move
Hmm.
on from. And Booker, for me, Booker's other than Garrett, like those are the two best talents in this draft for me.
Yeah.
Booker has such an insane combine. He's not quite the fastest in a straight line, but you never. Very rarely do you need to have that straight line speed. He's just so quick off that line. He can keep up with some of the quickest receivers, and he just has that really good man. He will stick to them like glue. Booker's great. I'm excited to see
Hmm.
how he turns out.
Absolutely. We're
Next,
gonna move on to the Jets now.
sip, new sip.
Yes, we have a new Jets owner. The previous GM was relieved of his duties, and so this new Jets owner gets to make his first pick in the top 5.
He, yeah, the
So
previous owner was afraid of. He's like, no more mock drafts. Please let me go. Release me from my
yeah,
cage. So we had to. He was starting to
yeah.
bite. Uh, but yeah.
I had the Jets. They have a great defensive line, but this is a very good. I think a very good defensive line draft. I think you'll see
Hmm.
that as we keep going forward. It's very weak in certain spots, but defensive line is not one of them. They have Queen and Williams, 28. I think they paired that with Boley, another defensive tackle, and move into a 4-3. He's young. He's a rusher. He's strong. Kind of reminds me of a defensive tackle that you might know the name of, Tyler,
I don't
in
know.
Sha- in Sharif Watson, who has rocketed up the all-time sack leaders in AGML history so far in his young career. I think Boley coming out looks better than Sharif Watson did 3 years
For
ago.
sure. I mean, there's a reason Shuri fell to the teens. Where
Hmm.
Boley, I think, has it all. But I don't think Boley's going here. I think there's one other defensive lineman I like just a tad bit more. I love here Joe Clayton. Joe Clayton is out of Oregon State. He has just everything you want in another speed rusher. He's just quick, he's strong, he's fast, and he has those really good finesse moves you need to see in a player like him. I think
Hmm.
Clayton is a really good player. We have some really good top end D line, and I love a good D line. It's my favorite
Yes.
position to see. Um, and I'm excited to see hopefully these players who deserve to go top 5 to see him get picked.
Yeah, I think there's a very clear divide in this class
Mhm.
from the top 5 to the top 16 to the rest of this class. It really
Yeah.
starts to drop off in terms of what I was seeing in this class.
Mhm. I mean,
It looks like
ooh,
we got another pick in as we were talking about this. The Bears do go Gilmore. So not the Bills, like you said. You're 3 for 3 right now, Tyler. I unfortunately am only 1 for 3.
Gilmore Girls. Hell yeah, revive that shit. The Bears are bringing back the Gilmore Girls.
So
Uh,
that's gonna put the Seahawks on the
I'm
clock.
excited to see if he has any dev,
I am
but
too.
we'll see if that's made the difference. I'm s- I'm still in shock about Fordham. Honestly, I'm like, I
Yeah,
he was my
that is
favorite
insane.
quarterback, one of my favorite quarterbacks I've seen all year. Um,
Yeah, I've never seen anyone like him. Again, like you said, he'll most likely be a Heron candidate,
oh yeah.
but that is just shocking outside being the best prospect on the board to end up as a normal. The Bengals have had some trouble at quarterback as well, but we have both quarterbacks off the board at this point. Honestly, there's no one else really worth a damn. Or dang. Sorry, YouTube, don't demonetize us.
I've already ruined that.
That's true.
I've sworn
uh,
like 20 times already.
again, keeping with this great draft class of defensive linemen, I'm going to go Joe Clayton, who I like that you had him going to the Jets. I just think that Clayton, because he was older, didn't have that strength to
Hmm.
him. Still a great prospect. I just think that Boley's just a little bit better that the Jets pulled the trigger on him before.
Oh yeah,
What do you think the Jets do, or
I think
Bengals
they
do
go
here?
Bully. Like Bully again, he is
All
21,
right,
and I think that's the
the old
one thing he has a
1-2.
little more going for him. I just, especially for me, Clayton. I guess Garrett was right on, so it doesn't get affected or his
Mhm.
skills. But like, Bully's just another solid pick. Uh, good edge rusher. Just prioritize a little more above him, just because you want that flashy guy who can get sacks. But Boley can get a sack too. He's not like he can't get pressure up the middle. I'm excited to see both of Clayton and Boley how they'll show up. They go if Boley goes 5, no complaints from me. Whoever gets him is a lucky man. I'm glad to see, or I'm excited to see where he ends up.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the Titans. Remember him? Um, but Tyler, he's been participating a bit more. I've actually seen him in chat around a few times. So glad to see that. I'm excited to see.
Always nice.
Yeah, his team's sneakily good. Like he's a
Mhm.
quarter, or he needs a quarterback bad, but like he has some other needs too. But like really not far away from being a competitive team, even though we
Yeah.
haven't heard much from that camp for a long time. So like there's no quarterbacks left. I don't. There's nothing worth taking here at 1-7. So I think I have him going safety here because that's one of his other holes, and I love a good
Mhm.
first round or early first safety. Um, Here I think he goes reaches maybe a little bit. I think it might be a slight reach in terms of overall, but Howard Norwood out of San Diego State, this dude's a monster. Just another athletic freak of a safety. You see him every like draft or other draft, but this dude, I love him a lot. One thing that does concern me is his zone coverage or his coverage skills aren't the flashiest, but he's heads up. He can hit the man. I just think he's a great safety and a position Tyler definitely needs.
I like Norwood. I have him just a little bit farther down than you. They have a young quarterback. He is a project, but he's young. He's got potential. So I think they go with the best lineman in this class in Rogers, the right tackle,
Hmm.
and either shift Lester or Rogers in. Preferably, I think Rogers should shift in. He's a power blocker. He's got great run blocking ability. To sort of shift him in on that right guard and have Rogers and Lester covering that right side. They have a great left tackle in Nash, who they drafted early just a few years ago. Maybe with that protection, Decker can blossom. Or if he can't, they'll be back. If he doesn't, they'll be back in the top 10 then next year, and they can put a good rookie quarterback in that isn't going to be shell shocked by getting sacked 50 plus times a
Yeah,
year.
totally see that. I'm excited to see where Titans goes. Yep. Next up we have the Eagles and Mike.
Mike.
He has some work to do on his team. It's kind of like in no man's land. I feel like where it's like
Hmm.
it has some decent players, some decent everywhere, but like it's just not enough to get over that hump. And I think he needs someone to do it. And here I think he goes cornerback. It's a pretty glaring need, but and I think Jamario, not the quarterback, not Jamario Williams, but Jamario Hitchcock. I don't know how many people have the name Jamario in this world. This is
I
Madden
guess at
world.
least two
At least
in the
two.
NFL,
Well,
and they both made it to the NFL.
well, Jamario Hitchcock. Uh, the only thing I like. He's might not be quite up there as talented as Booker. His his like whole physical specimen isn't quite. It's near there, but it's not quite as good as Booker. But the thing I love about Hitchcock is he is very good at zone and he's very good at man. You know you're getting someone who can do both. And in the sim, you never know what plays they're gonna call. You might need him to play man. You might need him to play zone. I think Hitchcock here, he can be a great corner for the rest of this Madden, and one that's just can do anything. I like him a lot.
I'm gonna stick with that in the secondary. Like you said, Eagles have a lot of problems. It's just offensively, this draft to me is very weak.
Mhm.
Um, and that's a shame because the offense needs to be addressed in some ways. They were dead last in yards. They were dead last in passing. They want a weapon. There's just no weapon really worth it right
Mhm.
now in the top 10. So I think they go Norwood, who you had the pick earlier.
Yeah.
Looks to me in his skill set more of a strong safety.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm getting at with him,
Mhm.
right? Like you said before, you're worried about his coverage skills. I'm worried about him too, looking at him. He's a big hitter. He's 5'9", but so is Bob Sanders from 20 years ago, and he did just fine. He's fast, he's
Mhm.
agile, he knows where to go with the ball. I think you can shift him into the strong safety slot, and either way, the man looks like a playmaker.
For sure.
Even if his coverage skills are a little off, he's got the speed to catch up with his mistakes and make a play.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I just hope the Eagles go secondary. I think that team
Hmm.
could need secondary soon. I don't like,
Mhm.
and their other weaknesses just I don't like in this draft that much. And when you have
Yeah,
this good of secondary at this point, you gotta go with someone. Next up, we have
absolutely.
Jack, the Australian. I'll get made fun of if I say Jaguars. 'Cause I say it wrong. Because I'm Minnesotan, other side of the world, baby.
The Jigs.
The Jags. Oh, yeah. But, anyways, uh, I love Gillespie, his quarterback. Gillespie's been is gonna be good. He's already good, and I think
Oh, he's absolutely good.
right now it's like he's at this point where it's like there's a few Jack looking at his team. He has like one or two weaknesses. I think he could really do with a corner, but with me having him, uh, or having the best secondary gone, I'd love to give him one, but I just can't do it here. So I think right now you gotta protect Gillespie, give him something, and I don't. Rawls is good. I wouldn't give him or I don't think top 10 is he's that good. Maybe he is. I think right now you just have to go O line though. There's a few good. Rogers is a good option. I almost gave him Rogers, but I really like.
He would. I'm assuming you'd put him in at like center or move
Mhm.
one of the guards into center.
Yeah, but I like
Okay,
guard Brendan Arcano here. Arcano is
for sure.
Arcano's really interesting. He's very good at run block, but he's also can pass block. That's huge for me. Seeing how again Sim, you want a kind of a always good to see both run and pass block. And he's just so quick. Like, guy, he's just quick off that line. He'll lock up that defensive tackle, that edge rusher, whoever he's up against, really quick. He'll. I just think to give Gillespie that little more time, especially with the lack of top end receivers. Um, I think yeah, Arkano's where he should go. Or
Hmm.
really, any of the
Um,
top end O
yeah.
line. They're kind of
So
interchangeable at the very top end for me.
that's true. Jags. I think reach here. They made big splashes in free agency with getting Slack. Um, and I think they just need another weapon. Windsor, great big bodied receiver. They grab Landry, who's old. Thing about them is they have no one that can really take the top off the defense. And Gillespie can sling it. He can sling it
Hmm.
deep. He's got the arm. And so I think it's a reach, but I think if Jags want to really go for this division this year, really make a name for themselves in the playoffs, they go get Matt Rawls, who has that speed and agility and route running prowess to really add another element to this Jags offense that we haven't been able to see Gillespie really flourish that well.
Oh yeah.
And I think I think adding Rawls as a deep threat, as someone that people have to watch out for, can
Hmm.
open up this playbook. They have every piece down the line. They're ready to make a run. They just need someone that defenses can be afraid of in the
Yeah,
backfield.
I love Rawls too. I just think he's a little too raw for my
Hmm.
taste in top 10. That's a, not a really
You
knock
gotta
to
you
him.
gotta
He
take your
has those
shot when you do like
intangibles.
that.
Some of those he has those those intangibles. Some of them are there. I can see him. He has that good one trick pony of just running down the field. I could see him being kind of like a DK Metcalf in that regard, where he
Yes.
will learn how to run routes better in NFL than in college. But again, just a little raw coming out for me to be top 10. But
Yeah.
next up, we have the first of a handful of picks. Maybe a couple, but Zach is here at number 10, and he's blown up the team. He got rid of Deshaun Watson only moments ago. It's kind of a shame. I like Watson a lot, but I guess it's a good thing for me being in the South. But he's gonna build that back up. Gonna make sure the Bucks, the Falcons, Tim Tobias, the legendary Tim Tobias, mind you. Gotta point that out. Gotta make sure those people are in check. He can't just let them go free. But so, I don't think
whoever they are.
right now with his um many picks, I think Zach goes first with the best O line. Again, Alex already had him going. Well, actually, a little bit earlier. Rogers, I love the right tackle Rogers. He's another physical Reggie Rogers. That's his name. Again, another Oregon State boy. This dude's just a physical specimen. He's so quick, and he can again do run and pass blocking. And he's 21. He's gonna be the guy for whoever Zach's next quarterback's gonna be. He's gonna make sure that dude is protected, and his running back, his X Factor running back pace, make sure he can run too. Get those lanes open. I think Rogers is important for a really good like foundation for this Panthers team going forward. I love him. I hope I'd be actually kind of sad if Zach took him because I don't want him in our division, even if he's just a tackle.
I have to agree with you on offensive line. I think that Zach has a plethora of picks, four in the first round. I think with the first one, he starts to rebuild this line a little more to get a cohesive unit. They have some great young guys. Rutherford at left tackle is only 22. Um, Ricky Reed's 24 on the right guard. They have a decent 28-year-olds scattered about. I think Arsenault, the second best lineman in the draft, would be a great addition to just plug in and play,
Hmm.
get pace, some running room in there, and whatever quarterback he gets in the future, at least he'll come in like Rodgers with the Titans, a good cohesive line that can protect him and let that young quarterback develop.
Yeah, for sure. I think O line would be very smart here, especially with all these picks, giving you the option to have one of the best O line in this
Mhm.
draft would be such a good place to build the rest of this team around. Next up, we have DDP, the Redskins at number 11, and he's a few needs. He has some really since he took over. He's definitely improved this team. I remember talking
Mhm.
about him a few years ago, or yeah, Madden years ago, um, about how just empty and he could go anywhere, and just because no one was that good. And it's been a lot better. It's looking a lot or but he still has some holes, and I think here he has Shields, insane safety. I love Shields so much. He's an X factor at 22 and already like blossoming into something really good. I think you, even if he's might not be the best player left, like in terms of total overall, I think you have Matt Cook still available, who is a free safety there's so many Oregon players, either from Oregon State or Oregon. Um, uh, he's a really good. Uh, I love that he's very good at zone coverage and as a free safety to counter Shields, who's a bit bigger, bit bruisier, and I think having zone as a talent is really important as a free safety, and I think Matt Cook can succeed here for the Redskins, being one of the best splash bros in the backfield.
We're sticking on the same path with the defensive backs. You had Hitchcock going earlier to the Eagles,
Mhm.
but I think he falls outside the top 10 to the Redskins. They already have a young corner in Chris Hughes at 24. Like you mentioned earlier, Javon Shields. Get a second corner in there. And I think Hitchcock, to me, I think Hitchcock is better than Cook overall. I think he
Yeah,
comes in more polished
I
than Cook
wish
does. So
if.
why not get someone that can come in and produce right away? Get this defensive backfield
Mhm.
settled, get this defense settled, and hope an offensively leaning draft comes up soon so they can address this side of the ball. Excuse me. Address that side of the ball.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but we're in the same boat. Defensive back, especially for the Redskins at 11.
Next up we have the Panthers. Wow, I didn't know they had more than one pick. Wow.
Is that legal?
Is that yeah? Is it legal to have more than one pick? Not sure about that. Um, Zach again. Back at it with the picks. And here's an interesting one.
Hmm.
Like, a lot of his holes are in the weaker parts of this draft, which sucks. I hate to see this, especially right around this top 10 is about where there's a bit of a skill drop off. This top 10 was really solid. I love this top 10. And outside of O line,
Yeah.
after this top 10, there's just not a lot of true top end talent in this draft. So I think here, Zach is going to take someone who might not, again, be a little raw. He might be a little raw, but at the position of linebacker, you can, and the way it's developed out this Madden, you need any linebacker you can get. And I think here, Ronald Reeves, he's 22, he's out of Ole Miss. And he's probably a little raw, not the best overall linebacker on the board. But with that combine, he is. We've had a couple monsters this draft. This dude's another one of those freaks. He's 6'2", he's a big dude. But he's just so strong and fast, and he's can rush the passer. If you, I mean, I think Zach's actually 4'3", but this dude, he's just such a monster. I don't think you can turn him down at linebacker because you just need talent there, and I think he'll just develop into something amazing with that physical specimen just already being there. It wouldn't be that much harder to just bump him up to like maybe being one of the better linebackers in this league.
Once again, we're similar areas. We're sticking in that linebacker core. We see those holes. And believe me, we see them in a lot of teams. And we're going to address that soon enough. But this is where we really had an argument before this.
Mhm.
I think the Panthers, since they have 4 first-round picks, and they're very spread out, I think they go A.J. Dawson, the 24-year-old out of Ohio State. Panthers,
Dawson's great. I love him, but
I love him. He's great coming out. He's 24. Panthers aren't a 4-3.
yeah, that is
A.J.
true.
Dawson has great coverage ability, can tackle, can catch up to anyone, any running back taking it on the outside. A.J.
Mhm.
Dawson consistently can close those gaps for the Panthers. And the South, especially, has some running backs that can get to that edge.
Mhm. I'm just.
Merritt can get to that edge. Kamara can get to that edge. Dejon Reeves can get to that edge quickly, and they need someone like Dawson. Yes, he's old, but that means he's refined. He's ready to just plug and play, and I think the Panthers want that at number 12.
And I mean that's where I disagree with you. I think Dawson's amazing. I think he'd be great on a team ready to compete. The Panthers are just beginning their rebuild. They just blew up. They have all these picks.
Mhm.
They're not going to be ready in a few years. They're going to be ready in like maybe 2 3 years. I think to be
Well,
ready to compete again. And by then Dawson's already going to be done developing. He's not got no more
here's
ceiling.
here's my thing on that, right? Dawson's strength, because I agree with you, they're not ready.
Mhm.
They're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah.
They're going to be rushed on a lot.
Mhm.
I think they picked Dawson with that team the way it's made. Dawson's almost a shoo-in for Defensive Rookie of
Sure.
the Year.
I think.
He's almost a shoo-in for Best Linebacker of the Year because of just the amount of tackles he's going to rack up.
Mhm. I think.
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
he'll be 26. No, sorry. Yes, he'll be 26, 27, whatever, when the Panthers are ready to compete. But he'll be like a 26, 27 in the upper echelons of linebackers.
Sure.
Top 5, and by the time they're ready to compete. And at that point, so what? He's
Mhm.
27. You have him in his prime for 3 years. That's worth it.
I think with a guy like Reeves, he's a few years younger. He's got those extra years of development, and since Zach's kind of blowing up, just there's not that too many guys who are would only work in a 4-3 or a 3-4 that he has on his team that he's still committed to completely, or that you couldn't make work in the other in a 3-4. I think Reeves you could build around, and I think he'd be a monster in that team once it does get to that point where it can compete again. I'm again would be afraid of either one of these guys being in this
Mhm.
division. I think Reeves could punish quarterbacks and punish whoever comes his or in his path.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have another AFC South. Big bunch of AFC South here. And we have the Falcons, Wiley. And one thing I see in Wiley's team, he has still a lot of strengths. Not quite what he was 2 years ago, but he needs to build it back up to that level. And I think one thing you need to do here is make sure um, that you can protect your quarterback at all costs, because that's basically like what his bread and butter should be. Because I mean,
Yeah.
shoot, I'm blanking. Oh no, what's his
Uh,
face?
you're missing the name. It's
Yeah,
Starkey.
sorry, fuck. See, as soon as like I'm looking
In
for it,
Starkey we trust.
I know, I'm embarrassed. Look, I'm like trying to think, and as soon as you are trying to remember the name, that's where you're screwed. You'll never remember it if you can't remember it.
I
Um,
remembered it, Wiley.
eh, it's the South. I don't care. Y'all don't matter. Y'all don't matter. Um, but anyway, you need to protect him. He has not a lot of tackle help if going into next year. Right as of you
Mhm.
right now you just need anyone, and there's a few options you can go. This is kind of the second tier of uh or linemen right here. I liked Arkano and Rogers as like that top tier. These guys aren't quite that level for me personally, but I think here you have to go uh, Peterson, the left tackle, Antoine Peterson. Uh, this dude, he's not quite a physical specimen, but he can pass block for anyone. He'll give Starkey all the time in the world, and that's what you need at left tackle. Just a guy. He'll be there for the rest of Madden. He's 21. He's young. I love him here. Given McGill, all of these pass rushes in the South, a little bit of a harder time.
I also go the offensive line because last season Starkey was sacked a career high 49 times, but also put up a career high in touchdown to interception ratio, career high in yards, and a career high in attempts. He dropped back to pass 600 times if you count the amount of times he was sacked. If you're
Hmm.
gonna do that, you gotta at least invest a little into that. You have to invest a lot, to be fair, into that offensive line. They re-signed him to a 6-year deal just last year, and
Hmm.
so I think they go Keys, who a lot like Peterson is very good at pass blocking. I think Keys is the better option because he comes in with a lot more strength. Benched 39 on the bench press. Same exact abilities in terms of being able to pass block the way Peterson does. He's just a year older, but that just means he had a year to get really strong, and it shows in his combine.
That's fair. I like them both. I think the age especially helps Peterson, but especially like there's just some projections. Like, is does Keys have it all? I don't know. And also, again, the true pass blocking on Keys isn't quite the same
Hmm.
level. And I think again, pass block is huge, especially in the Sims.
Sure.
I think people Wiley likes that. Maybe I don't know. I'm not Wiley. No.
All
Um.
right.
Anyways, oh God, this team. Let's
The
skip them.
future,
Let's skip
the
them.
next GM to retire, actually.
Oh,
Uh, the Chargers owner.
and I'm retiring right now.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye bye. In the middle of this podcast.
Epic. Um, but here's a conundrum. I think like you have this team. It's been lost since getting rid of Jamario. It was maybe right.
Hmm.
It was maybe a little impulsive. I think you'd even admit it might have been a little impulsive.
It was definitely impulsive. I was afraid. I can go back to that time, and it was. I remember because I traded away my future first for Spears to the
Uh
Seahawks,
huh.
and I started out like 1-6 or 1-7,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't. Like this team needs to win. The defensive backs are there. I don't understand why this team isn't winning.
Mhm.
And so I saw Dak was on the block,
Yeah.
and I was like, this team needs to fucking. It can still turn it around. It can still win out. It can still go 10-6. You can
Mhm.
still sneak into a wild card, and from then on, maybe I could sneak up the ladder and steal a Super Bowl with Dak. Didn't work out. He did. He did end up winning me 7 games. To
Ooh.
be fair, he did end up giving me a positive record and moving the Seahawks down like
Mhm.
into the 16th overall area.
So he did it to
But
spite
then
Brian, but yeah.
Jamario, then Jamario.
Jamario happened, yeah. Um, but yeah, here for you, I think you have Randolph right now, and Randolph is I don't know if he's the true future, but he actually didn't look too bad his first year. I like Randolph a bit. He won Rookie of the Year, all of that jazz. But I think you need a weapon at some level for either Randolph or whoever comes after Randolph. Uh, Either way, this man will be here. He's already been gone off on Alex's board, but he's still here for me. Matt Rawls, I thought he was a little too raw for top 10 for my taste, but he's a physical specimen, and he's kind of, again, I said it earlier, I see him a lot as a DK Metcalf, where he can develop past just being a one trick pony running down the field as fast as he can. But I mean, he's got really good deep route running skills in the intermediate to deep level, and he can catch it in a contested kind of way. He's good at both those things. That's what you want to as a guy you could just can know to throw to, especially with Keenan Allen gone. I love
Well,
Rawls.
I I do have to correct you. The San Diego Chargers did just trade for Rocco Gardner, and they just
Oh
traded for
shit,
N'Keal
yeah.
Harry.
Right,
So
duh.
we do not have Randolph starting.
I'm dumb.
We are gonna run with Rocco. There is no quarterback controversy there. Um, I like Rawls. If he fell, I'd
I'm
definitely
going
take him.
back and denying that trade now.
Absolutely, do that.
So now you don't have Rocco.
That's true. All right,
Sucker.
I'm running with Randolph, the Rookie of the Year, Randolph. Um, I I think because Dawson goes off to the Panthers, because I just think he's better. The Chargers do run a 3-4, and Ronald Reeves is sitting right there for the taking as a speed rusher off the edge to kind of get this linebacking core back to where it used to be. They have Spears, right? Spears have been great. They have Darren Wade as their second. They need people on the edge that can give more pressure if this team wants to get back to where it used to be, which really wasn't much, honestly. I
Mhm.
never really did much, but I want to.
Oh yeah.
uh, but this Dawson pick and this Reeves pick really shook up the rest of our drafts
Mhm.
all the way down.
Especially in the teens, like there's different
Yeah, absolutely.
because those two are so different, even if they're in such high demand, and where these teams lie and what they need. There's just such a difference in uh like who gets taken if one does not.
Hmm.
Anyways, so yeah,
Move on to the
but
Ravens.
again, even with having Rocco and Harry, I think Rawls still fits in perfectly, especially if Harry's taken away that top corner from
Yep,
Rawls. That weapon of just running down the field kind of works.
absolutely.
They could work
And
well.
with well, and the thing is I'd kind of just be like a rag, like I just have a riches of those people because I have both Samson, right? The Chargers have both Samson, 94,
Hmm.
speed and Like I wouldn't mind it. 94 speed, 93 acceleration. I wouldn't mind two of those people. Um, why not, right?
Hmm.
Like that seems pretty fun with Rocco, especially
Yeah.
Rocco, of all people, being able to throw that ball.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Hmm.
If he falls, you can guarantee you I'm taking him.
All right.
But anyway, on to Kevin. Kevin,
He needs
what a
everything.
fall from grace. Yeah, Kevin, I'm sorry, man. What are you doing? I know you're coaching. I get it. But come on.
You can do better than
uh,
this.
you can, yeah, we expect better from you. Um, but I think we came to an agreement looking at this and looking at this team and who's available. We picked the unsexy pick in Shirley. One of the
Surely you
better
can't
guards
be
left
serious,
over.
you might be saying.
I am serious, and
Uh,
never call me Shirley. Very strong, very strong, able to run, able to pass block. He, I don't even know if he really has a running back right now that would matter.
no, he has one
But in
player
the
over 80.
future, in the future, Kevin, you'll thank us when you'll have these running lanes open for whatever running back you actually get. That's worth anything.
Yeah,
What do you? I mean,
I think
what are your thoughts?
Shirley, for me, is like he has the talent of Rogers of Anarcano. He's just a little
Mm-hmm.
older. Maybe physically he won't
True.
be as good. Like he's still strong. He's still hella strong. He lifts those weights, but he's just not quite as quick. But I mean, still, he's that top. He'll be able to coming out have the same level of ability as maybe those other two do. And I think just having someone to build around, having a line to build around, so whoever weapons you decide to bring in for either Lobato, if Lobato's your future, he could be. Lobato isn't the worst, certainly not the
Mhm.
worst. You just need someone to give anything to, and just anywhere you need help, O line's not a bad place to start to build around.
Absolutely. It's
Next,
what championships are made of.
next up we have the Rams, and like no other one. Um, Rams are Rams actually have a really decent roster. The only thing that I mean, I don't know if it was on purpose or because he was not away from his box, but getting rid of Gurley was kind of a surprise for me. I don't like seeing it. I think it makes him weaker, but maybe he didn't want to pay what Gurley was asking for how old he was. I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah.
anyways, he needs that running back. Really, there's not a running back I think should be taken here. There's no one worth it, at least for his position. So,
Hmm.
luckily in my universe, there's one player that is highly rated. I like him a lot. Um, and he could be a keys to success. Um, hate myself. um, yeah, we've already talked about. Alex already talked about Keys, and I like Keys a lot. I liked him a lot. Like I liked uh, what's his face, Peterson. Peterson's kind of to me. You have
Hmm.
Arkano and Rogers as 1A 1B. Roger or Keys and Peterson to me was 2A 2B. Even if I did have Shirley going before Keys, I do think Keys is probably a bit better. But and tackles is a right tackle, so I don't know. But I think Dallas Keys, especially as a pass protector, I could see him being bumped to left side. I think he has that
Hmm.
ability. He's still good at pass blocking, not maybe as good as you have Peterson being at true pass blocking, but he's still got some good power for blocking the pass. I don't know, just a great pick, especially this far late. He was a little forgotten about falling to a projected third round, but projected third round doesn't really matter.
I, uh, I think the girly thing was smart. This team isn't going anywhere. They're old. They have
That's
so much cap. They have so much cap in Goff
yeah,
and
Goff. Goff's the
Donald.
real reason why that team.
Goff is an issue, and Goff is also like hampering them cap wise. luckily this is his last year. I think dropping Gurley was smart, just because Gurley was responsible. Let's be real, for like
Hmm.
6 of his 7 wins was just off the backs of Gurley,
Oh, sure.
right? So it's just like, and it's not like the 49ers are going anywhere.
Hmm.
They've had this division pretty strangleholded for the last 2 seasons. They need to kind of bottom out, get rid of all these old players. Aaron Donald's like 36 already, 35. Um, I think dropping Gurley was the right spot. I think what do you do when you're a rebuilding team? You start with the offensive line. We've said this constantly with all these other teams in the top. I think they go Peterson, who you had, where I had going Keys to the Falcons. So we just swap these two, like you said. They're 2A, 2B. Nothing really more to say about Peterson.
Oh yeah,
They're both. You can't miss. You can't miss on either of them. It's just kind of who do you prefer.
for
I
sure.
prefer strength. I prefer more strength than you do, etc. Outside of that, we're in pretty good agreement on it.
And officially, we have a trade, and it's a retroactive trade. So sadly, we're not covering it, or we won't be discussing who Jim will pick here, cause
Yes.
but Titans Tyler is trading number 1.7. So this mock's probably out the window because some of the decisions
I
and
mean,
for me the decision I made at
sure,
1.7 totally changed who would go after. But
sure.
I think here it's a very interesting trade. I'm not gonna comment on who I think wins. Uh,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
find
gonna say.
Blake Wilson a very interesting prospect. He's still 23 and he's still a star dev. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very
Yeah.
curious. Uh,
I'm shocked. I'm shocked the Saints didn't trade Tim.
I know
They've been
he
trying to
hates
get rid
Tim.
of him.
He
They've
hates
been trying to
Tim.
get rid of him. To anyone that could take him, I'm shocked the Titans also saw the red flags on Tim.
Mhm.
They did their research and saw that, hey, this guy's trouble,
Mhm.
and they didn't take him. They're like, no, we want Blake Wilson. Um, I don't know. I mean, like, if we're looking back, right, I could see the Saints taking either of our two.
Yeah.
Right, like, sure, Norwood's kind of a iffy pick, but like Marcus Williams is already 29,
Yeah.
Strickland is 27.
Mhm.
And then on my end, like, you can't go wrong with linemen.
Yeah.
Like I had Rogers moving into guard or something of that nature, I believe. Same thing can happen here. They could move him to guard. They can move Blonde into guard or DeCavio
Mhm.
to, because they do need a guard. Like they're weak on the left guard a little bit. Like he's not an 80. Oh no.
Yeah.
Um, but I could see the pick still standing,
For
and
sure.
the Saints don't even have a first this year, so
Mhm.
it's all future. But the Titans are officially out of this draft if they don't do anything,
You know,
which I find
I
shocking.
find it interesting. Like all the talent in this
I
draft is where he,
In the
he
top 10,
traded. He
all the
traded
talent in the
out
top 10.
where all the talent. Like if this was where we are now,
Well,
I would love this
yeah,
trade. I think it would
yeah,
be
absolutely.
blessed. But outside the top or inside the top 10, I there's just so much talent, and I mean, we've talked about a lot of this
Yep.
talent and how much we've gushed over some of these players. I wish I was in Jim's position to get into instead of me being at a
Mm-hmm.
30th where I'll get a like whatever the scrap. I'll get like a pork chop bone or something like where. Meanwhile, Jim's fancy living, coming off that Super Bowl win, giving the hated Tim, maybe just giving him. I don't know why he's rewarding Tim. I don't
Yeah.
honestly. This is very un-Jim like.
Now Tim's not gonna have any competition,
Oh yeah.
right? Like at least Wilson had a shot at taking it
Mhm.
over. Now
Wilson
Tim's just gonna be lazy and lethargic
is Teddy.
and
Teddy is still
back
on
not
that
be.
team. To be fair, Teddy is still on that team. So
That's
you
true.
never know. Teddy is changing the world. So next up we have the Indianapolis Colts. We have Nick. And interesting because of our philosophy difference way back at 112. I have
Yes.
who Alex picked, Dawson. I think Dawson,
Hmm.
uh, 24 is spooky to many people, but I think Dawson's perfect for the Colts situation. They're only a couple players away from being, in my opinion, a really good team. I think they had some bad luck last year, but I think they
They
underperformed
could
a
have been a
bit,
playoff team last
and
year. They
I
were a
think they're
few,
a really good team.
yeah,
And
they
I
were a few
think
coin flips away.
having Dawson, who's coming out pretty well developed, especially for linebackers. He's I think the perfect pit for him, especially considering how much the talent level that's left here. I think Dawson's perfect. You have a guy that's ready to go instantly. You have Darius Leonard about to um, retire soon, getting pretty up there in age, and all the rest of the linebackers aren't that great for him. So again, Dawson's perfect if he's still available, which he could be because 24 spooks people as one Austin Watts may be trying to change.
Yes, we won't talk about that. Uh, so because of our differences back at 112, I don't have any linebackers worth a mid mid first round pick
Mhm.
on my board anywhere. This Kilgore has had a career resurgence in Indianapolis.
Oh, for sure.
He's just last year he had his career high in touchdowns. He had his career high in yards. Um, and not even his career high in attempts off that. But he has done phenomenal down in Indy. Can never go wrong with O line. Always can protect Kilgore more. I think they have a good O line. I think Nelson's 30. Witt is a great guard. Gray is a great guard. It's just that tackle, or no, yeah, their tackles are just a little bit old.
Mhm.
But Ellington's done. I think they go trainer, 22-year-old out of Texas A&M. I think they move on from Ellington if they can. He's the weak point on that line for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I mean I think this team can surprise a lot of people.
Mhm.
Well, not anymore since we put them on the radar, but they were sneaky good. They were sneaky good last
Very
year.
sneaky. They were like, yeah, I think they can
They were
definitely.
they were they were like a few coin flips away. Like I beat them randomly, right?
Mhm.
If that didn't have the Raiders beat them from 3 points. Um,
Yeah.
the yeah, like they were a win. Yeah, if my game went the other way, they would have won the division. They would have won the South last year had they
Mhm.
just beat me
For sure.
and my bad team. Like that's
Yeah.
how close they were from surprising a lot of people.
Uh huh.
And I still don't think no one talks about. No one talks about Kenyon Tubbs, who is one of the best like young wide receivers we've had. He's
Like
amazing.
if these players were on like my team or like one of the other people that streams like 3 times at least or 3 or 4 times a
Sure.
year,
Yeah.
everyone would know their names.
Yeah. They are sneaky good. They're ready to make a run at this
Hmm.
division for sure.
Next up, we have Rob, the Raiders, and I think again Raiders are one of those teams. Kincaid's killing it. I love seeing all
Mhm.
these young quarterbacks killing it. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
Um, and he's a few pieces away. Linebackers out of the question. That's the piece like you'd really wish you could address, but I don't like any linebackers here that's left. So I think here you move Jamal Adams over to free safety. He's currently playing strong, and you give Shakir Hewitt, the strong safety out of Texas A&M. You pair him up with Jamal Adams. Again, they're gonna be great together. Hewitt's the bruiser, and Jamal Adams so versatile. Like you can do anything with him in the back. Like you could probably even move him to corner if you just wanted that. But I think
Mhm.
Hewitt here would be really good. This dude's strong. He's pretty quick. Not as quick as some of the other safeties gone so far, but He just can run those people down. Him pairing with Jamal Adams would be a blessed combo.
I I have Cook finally getting taken off by the Raiders. Now this I think is a great pickup
Oh God, I
for Rob.
I
Yeah,
had him
you
going
had him
11.
what? You had him like almost top 10.
Probably
Yeah.
a little reach, but
I yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. I was like, it's a bit of a reach. There's some good players still left around. Cook and Jamal Adams now, though, that is a duo that also has me freaked out. The Raiders also are went 9-7. They are
mhm,
sneaky as well. They were 2 games out of winning the division, and once again, I beat them once,
mhm,
unfortunately, because I didn't want to win. So I kind of took them out, you know.
yeah,
So I think, but I mean, Von's been poised.
mhm,
Their defense, if you look at their defense, last year finished third in points allowed, first overall in yards given up, fifth in the pass, and fourth in the run. And you had Cook, who can do it all,
mhm,
right at 21. So he's gonna probably knock down your pass and rush ratings at least a slot.
yeah, for sure.
And that means like, they already have. Oh, and they picked up Gurley this offseason. They went and grabbed
Ooh,
Gurley to pair with Kincaid. Oh my gosh, this Raiders team will be insane next year.
yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah,
Hmm
I am expecting Rob to make the playoffs. Anything
I'm
less than
expecting Rob to
playoffs,
scream, Rob. I want to see this. I want to see this team in action.
for sure.
I want
Next
to see all you guys' teams in action, to be fair.
Next up, we have Nathan, the Cardinals, and Cardinals. They're an interesting team. I think they're definitely gonna. They overachieved last year, just a
Hmm
little. I think they're gonna take a step down. You're gonna. Kyler's still still in his prime, so I think you can want to build around him, or they have to think about building around him one last time, or just building a team around him. I think he's a lot of needs right now. I think you have to go maybe on the other side of the ball, get a smart defender like Antoine Riles out of Memphis. This dude is really smart actually. He's that guy on the line who will call your plays out. He's the kind of guy who Cam Newton's like, "Oh, you've been watching plays?" He'll respond to that. Uh, but no,
And they'll actually do the right thing
yeah,
off the audible,
But
but
Riles
not claim
can
it.
is smart to see it. He he can see if it's going to be a run or a play action or whatever. He has that game sense, and I like it. And he's just good against the run. He's that stout. I'd love him on any line. To be honest, I mean I don't need him because I've blessed defensive tackles. But if Vea's getting up there, I I could see
Yeah.
Riles. I mean, if he was in a class where I need to replace Vea with, Riles would be a very interesting replacement, and I'd love him. Too bad I can't get that. But for Nathan, I think would be a good way to maybe keep that a chance of you making the owl alive.
I have to agree with you there on what Riles. Uh, they can pair him with Mayo Pete on the line. Mayo Pete is a superstar.
Is he
He is. Mayo Pete is a superstar. He's a young up and comer.
Mayo Oh God, he's catching up.
Mayo Mayo Pete. He's catching up apparently with the rest of the class. Um, Chris
Yeah.
Wilkins is old. He is just old defensive tackles. Riles, like you said, is a
Oh God,
great
we have some picks coming
student
in.
of the game.
We have some picks coming in.
Oh, we'll take a pause, but I think we're in agreement coming into the Patriots pick that Riles is where uh, Nathan should look.
So here's an interesting pick here. Going at 4 overall, we have Bully.
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 Neither of us
Neither of
had
us.
Bully going 4.
I had Booker,
Interesting.
who
Yeah, I had
Sip
Garrett.
was very. I'm sure Sip was ecstatic when he saw a talent
Whew.
like Booker. Booker's so good.
Wow.
Oh my god! Like I thought,
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, I love you, Brian. I don't know how you pass up
Brian.
Booker.
Yeah, if it wasn't Garrett, Brian, you gotta take the best corner
I mean, I'm not. I
in
shouldn't
this
mock Boley too
class.
much. Boley's great. He's
No,
hidden.
Bully's great, but you get the best corner if he's
Mhm.
there still. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, he'll do fine. Like, Bully's still a stud.
Oh yeah.
But again, I think he's a Sharif Watson type of player.
Mhm.
I guess for Brian, in Brian's defense, right? 23-77. This is corners. 22-74.
Mhm.
Like, he's got the defensive backfield pretty well.
Yeah.
He did need to address the line. No, I mean, like, I don't. No, I'm gonna be honest. I like that pick. I like that pick for
Sure.
Brian a lot.
I
He
just
didn't need Booker. Booker would have just been added on and just not really
I just think
much of a
Booker's someone you need. Like everyone
sure.
like there's no team in this league that Booker wouldn't help them. Like at some
Absolutely,
level.
but
Like for the few like you sit a corner that might be better so this guy can get that time, that development cuz
sure.
he looks like he's going to become that level of game changer.
Yeah.
Well,
So we're out of the top 5. Awesome.
going along nicely, especially for being a
Yeah.
later start. But next up, we have Ryan, the new Patriots owner, with a double,
Yes.
a daily double.
The old coming. Welcome back, Brian. By the way,
Yeah,
welcome back.
many of you new users, and maybe just kind of forgot. There's a lot I forget about this league. Like, there's people, it's like I hear the names, like, oh yeah, I remember him. But
Yep.
Ryan was a really good GM in previous Maddens. And I'm
hmm
glad to have
Was
him
he was
back.
he in the original
I don't think he
or
was
was he
in.
in 18?
He
Maybe
was
it was
he was in
18 when he
18,
came in.
I believe he
Yeah.
came in. Or I know he was Panthers last Madden. Um,
Yep.
so that's for sure. Not quite sure when he came in. Before that, I couldn't tell you that for most people other than myself. Uh, but glad to have him back
hmm
but for his first pick of his two, he had three, but he traded it to the Zach the Hungry Boy, who needed more picks. But
Yes.
uh, not Brady. Brady's old. Too bad. But I have him,
Ryan.
Ryan here. I think his first one, he goes trainer, the center, just because we saw that skill drop off after the first 10 picks. I think there's kind of a second cliff here where like
hmm
there's just you start to see people not be as good, and trainer's one of the last like decent guys left. He's still young. He has some decent skills. He's good at run blocking. He's a good guy you want to have in the middle of your line. He's quick, but he's also fairly strong and good at run blocking. He's not too flashy, fairly boring pick to be honest, but I think it's a necessary pick when you have Watson now, and you're like, where do I go? Get him some
hmm
protection.
Absolutely. I think with Brian's first pick, he makes an interesting one. Now, we talked about this before when we were making these mocks. And Brian, I'll give you the info and everything on this guy because you're new, and you don't have
It's
all the
yeah,
scouting info. I think he goes running back. He's talked about needing running back help. You can see that he needs running back help.
mhm,
Parker Finley is 21,
yeah.
elusive guy. You see that in his shuttle. You see that in his three cone. I don't get how this guy is not projected as a first round talent. I'm going to let everyone know that right now. He's not projected as a first round talent. I don't understand it.
He's
I
projected
don't
early
see a
first,
weakness.
but
I don't see a weakness in this guy. And I think that that diamond is wrong. I think that that red diamond is
you
wrong.
think I don't know. Running backs are always very finicky. There's
They're
a lot that
very
influence.
finicky.
There's a lot that influences their overall. They're
Absolutely.
the most complicated players in Madden for
Yep.
how their
But
overall is calculated. But yeah.
his elusiveness is just off the charts. It's just an insane skill set that he has. And I think that Ryan wants to make a splash here. I think he goes with that. And since I'm already talking and he's picking right after, I think he goes with a tight end right after. He needs tight ends. He doesn't have Rocco anymore, so he's gonna get a new quarterback. He gets a running back for him.
Hmm.
He has good wide receivers. He got two good wide receivers now because he traded away Harry, but he still needs a tight end. And I think he goes Cohen, another 21-year-old. He has a blocking tight end, but he does have some catching
Hmm.
ability. He's shown that. He's flashed that before. And so, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not normal picks, right? Very strange
Yeah.
picks for the Patriots. But I think that if you're gonna start somewhere, if you're gonna start new here, make a splash.
Hmm.
I think those two picks really make a splash in this league to see how they end up
And
years down the line.
I think Finley, I have to agree with you. It might be a reach. He's not quite at a level back that some other, at least just from talent wise, he
Hmm.
there's some stuff he just isn't quite as good. But also, it's just like he has that elusive or agility, which is something you really want. He's
Yeah,
not bad despite what he has a red diamond because he's in game. He's projected early first, so anything that's not that's red
that's
diamond.
true. That's
So
true.
like you know, um,
Yeah.
so even though he's not quite living up to an early first projection, I think he's still a very solid running back, especially when you have nothing. You need someone like that who can. He's has very good hands. He won't drop the rock. He will.
Hmm.
I think he can be a successful running back in this league.
I think so too. I
Next,
think that, yeah.
yeah.
No, no, I think we're ready to move on.
Next up, we have Salsa. Um, and he actually got luck and continues his trend of getting
Hmm.
that old veteran quarterback to keep the rest of his team afloat. You have Peyton Manning. Then you have a couple years where it's like, maybe not. Then Tulsa came and it's like, let's bring in Cam. Cam's our man. And then he brought in now Luck. So you got those
I,
old.
I don't understand. I don't understand the luck pickup.
Eh, I think he wants to keep like just that few years trying to keep it afloat. And I totally get that
I
where
mean,
you're trying to all um
yeah, but like just tank for a year.
maybe yeah. We'll see. I
Like
think his team's
luck,
too good to tank a year and get a good
I
quarterback.
guess.
So I don't know. It's
I
tough. You need a really big quarterback class.
it'd be interesting if the Chargers beat him out for Rocco.
Mhm.
Like what I wonder if he was even in talks with Rocco.
We'll see. That would sting if you
Right?
were talking.
That
He
would have been
goes to your division.
huge if they got Rocco.
But instead, he's gonna run with Luck. I think I could see him continuing this trend if that's like the route
Hmm?
he wants to go. Just get veteran quarterbacks on your
Yeah, I mean
team,
they'll perform fine.
and that's
Yeah.
why I think you he might dig for Gold, Seth Gold, out of Wyoming. He's kind of a local boy, out of Wyoming. Craig Bull coaches him. I love Craig Bull, good coach. So making him ready for the NFL, and this dude is
Will
good
he
and
still be there this year?
I don't know.
This is like almost a decade later.
It's college, so like coach.
Sure.
If you're a good college coach, you can say. I don't know. I'm not an expert. He's a bit older, actually, but it doesn't matter. This is my fantasy. This is my
Sure.
world. This is my creation, and I think Seth Gold is gonna be golden for the Broncos and what he can do to keep whatever ancient quarterback afloat for the rest of this Madden.
I mean I agree with you. I think it's gold. I'm excited to see Luck in a Broncos uniform.
I think
It's a
that's actually great because
I mean, like, I'm gonna see. I want to face him. I think a Rocco and Luck
hmm
matchups is gonna be great. I want to face like everyone, and like I just want to stream Rocco so bad now. I'm so excited.
I mean, you'd
Um,
stream everyone if you could.
exactly. That's true. I love streaming. You guys should love streaming. I don't understand people who don't like streaming. Um, but that's a rant for another day. Uh, I think Young. I think we're getting Gold. Uh, spoiler is the pick. We're getting to that like limbo period of like there's no one. I told you guys there's a huge drop off after 16, and we're just getting like there's linemen now. There's linemen available. We're just
Yeah,
gonna give
lineman's
people
like
the
the
linemen.
only decently deep
Yeah.
position this draft. It's kind of
Yep.
sucks for
It
entertainment value.
sucks.
As like
Yeah. These
earlier
are
in the
not gonna be.
podcast, we had like 10 people listening in. Oh, dude, Game Stalker. I don't know who the Game Stalker is, but he's a dope ass podcast. God bless you, Game Stalker. Um, but anyways, now we're down to 4 viewers because O line's boring, and I
Mhm.
don't blame y'all. I wouldn't.
No,
It's not as
absolutely not.
fun.
Thank you guys for sticking by the
Uh,
um.
it's not quite as entertaining to hear me gush about Garrett and Booker and all of them when I'm gushing about right tackle Archemius Young going to the Cowboys. I think
Absolutely,
I think that's
absolutely.
who he has to go with. He's by far the best. Again, he's kind of like Keys, where he kind of fell down the other experts who run Madden, their opinion. But I think this dude, he's a stud. He can be good, especially after Cody traded a lot of
Blew up.
those guys away.
I'm sh- I'm shocked that he never traded Zeke.
He
Like, if you're
he's
gonna
been
blow
trying.
up,
He's been trying. It's
okay. I'm
not.
about to say, like, if you're gonna blow up, like,
He's on the
Zeke has to
young, or
go.
he's on the young. He's on the block. Um,
Gotcha. He's probably just asking too much. Um, like, if you're gonna blow up, like, trade Jamario back to, where he came from.
but yeah, I mean, Young's again. There's not a lot more to say about these guys. He's good at run blocking. It's
Mhm.
he's not quite as physically of a free. He's 6'8" though. He's a big
Yeah. I
dude,
mean,
but he's
I
not
mean, we've
quite as
seen like Mac, right, perform well, and Mays perform well in the whatever system that
yeah.
Cody has going for lineman development. Like, it obviously works.
But I think
Uh,
Young's a great pick here. Uh,
mhm.
even if he's
It's
not quite
needed.
as a freak as the others, he's
Yeah.
still a good dude, and I think here he's by far the best player probably left.
Yeah.
Next up, we
Uh,
have the Vikes.
Viking. Yes.
Skull. Skull. Good. I almost dropped my laptop doing a skull.
Good. Good.
Rest in peace, my MacBook. Um. Anyways, Skull's actually still a good team. It's aging. It might be getting
Mhm.
older. Brissett's getting up
Mhm.
there. He's, and a lot of his
I think this
studs.
is Brissett's last. I think this is
Yeah,
Brissett's last year.
but I think you can still try to plan for the future while um making still being able to make an impact. I think here Kyron Turner, another Oregon boy. There's a lot of Oregon players this or players from Oregon, either Oregon State or Oregon, you
Hmm.
are going. He's a 21-year-old corner, and even though his uh intangibles aren't there, he's not as good as some of the other corners this draft at like coverage and stuff. Um, he's still such a physical freak that an NFL uh, corner whisperer, like what Zimmer may have taught Skull or whatever, that I think Turner could turn out to be something good in a few years while still playing, having a little bit of a cushion to learn and not be the guy. I think Turner
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense for Skull.
I agree. It's Turner. I think this is Brissett's last year. He has to kind of decide if he wants to make a run. But regardless of that, Turner just helps that backfield a lot. Like, Brockers is great. Outside of that, they really have no one. Uh, in terms of that cornerback depth, like
Hmm
Josh Jackson's great as a slot corner. Turner coming in at least lets him move down, uh, and probably Turner will probably be a slot corner his rookie year, but then let then Turner can take over for Jackson after
Right.
year two.
Next up, we have Cody again. Glad to see
How is
Cody
that
around.
possible? We just had Cody.
It's illegal to have more than one pick.
Soon to be. Stay tuned.
Ooh, Durs has a comment though about Brissett's last year. He says Brissett is the new Tom Brady, boys. He will never leave me. And as a Viking fan myself, that'd be cool to have a quarterback that consistent, where I could be like, yeah, he's gonna be our guy for years to come. It was supposed to be Teddy. Aw. Now I'm gonna cry. I need to stop talking about this, or else I'm gonna break down on stream about Teddy. But yeah. Anyways, Cody. Sorry about that, Cody. Distracted in the middle of your pick. Again, even after the blow, it still has quite a few strengths. I think one thing without Jalen Ramsey, you're gonna need some secondary help at some way or another, be it corner to replace him or a safety or something to be next to Bubba. Um,
Bubba.
but anyway, I think he goes Nolan Lane, a corner out of Virginia. Got a little better.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I think Lane's interesting. Uh, I think he's actually better than Turner in a lot of coverage, and
Mhm.
he's better at being a corner right now. But it doesn't. The only reason Lane's not better than Turner is because he doesn't have the quite the physical ability. He's still amazingly quick. He's just not
Yeah.
Turner level of freak. He's not quite as fast either. That's as big as not physically. There's a few that the Rawls of the world, as we were talking earlier in this draft, would probably blow past him, which is a bit of a concern. You need to get, but he is good and pressed to counteract that. But we'll see. But I like Lane. He's not a bad guy, especially this late in the first, where it's like you can kind of take that risk.
Yeah. We're gonna stick in the backfield. I think it's Hewitt, who you had going like 18.
I love safeties.
So I
Okay,
really, I
I
you,
love safeties.
I really undervalued safeties this draft. I pushed them way down compared to you.
I probably overvalued. They're probably gonna be in the middle. They're
Yeah,
probably
we'll
gonna.
see. I mean, like, we'll see how this plays out. You're better at mocking so far than I am. Uh,
I just love.
they've shown that they want to get rid of. They've shown that they want to get rid of Keanu Neal, right?
Mhm.
And I think they will end up doing that.
Mhm.
So I think Hewitt's the replacement. I think he's
Yeah.
the only replacement worth anything. Him and Bubba Love, that's gonna be fun to be in the backfield with Bubba Love and Hewitt.
Yeah.
I think both of them are very similar. I think both of them are playmakers in different ways. Hewitt has that great hit power, that great box support that they need. He's got great awareness. He's smart. He knows how to play the ball and how to fill holes. I think those two together will be a very fun combo for the last few years that we have.
Oh yeah. Next up, we have Dustin. After that really good run by the Steelers, it was a shame
I
to
mean,
see it.
might not be over.
But I mean, last year, like the run
Oh yes,
of
yep,
like going through the playoffs,
yep.
like we were all hoping he had that run and could make it.
After that first win, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was nice to see him get that first win after so much heartbreak in the playoffs. It's always good to
Mhm.
see him, uh, especially someone who's been like a constant in AGML like Dustin. He deserves it.
He does.
Right now
One
though,
day, man.
sadly we cock blocked him. The trade committee cock blocked him. We thought this pick was too valuable for uh Cody's safety. Which maybe
Yeah.
that was. I don't know if that was the right. I think it was right. A first is a lot valued,
Mhm.
but I think he's like, damn, didn't get that or safety. Cody wants too much, or Cody wants what the trade committee is not letting him have. So I think he comes back, gets Braylon Peters. Loves these safeties. This dude again, just another good strong safety. Strong, he's a bruiser. He's kind of what you want in this strong safety. Not a whole lot to say. There's plenty of other safeties, but I'm a safety fan. What can I say?
I think because it is a late first, it's still valuable. I think he goes on the defensive line. I think it goes Joe Pleasant. He's a great rusher. He's got a great uh he's got a great pass rushing move
Mm-hmm.
and like a really good pass rushing move. He already has Riddick. Zach Allen's up there, right? Matthew Ioannidis is up there. Pleasant can even slot into as like a rotational defensive tackle if he needs to, because his pass rushing move is just that good. He's got great agility. He's got great quickness off the line. Um, that paired with Riddick should make that defensive line formidable. And we've seen Cohen, I believe Cohen, we've seen him before when he came in for an injured Luck. If I remember correctly, that was him that came in 2 years ago. I believe it was 2 years ago because that's what I'm kind of seeing from his career stats.
Mm-hmm.
And he played pretty well. Like he didn't light it up, but he played in a way that showed promise. And now we get to see this guy as a 25-year-old in his last year of his contract to see if he can do what, you know, Luck couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that is win more than one playoff game. And I like it. I
I
like
could
him a
see
lot.
it,
I think
yeah.
I think he can do it. I can see it. I love his intangibles. I love his accuracy that he has. I love a lot of what he does.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, I'm
absolutely.
excited. I'm excited for Dustin. I think it was high time he got someone like Cohen and gave him a shot finally.
All right, yeah, for sure. Next up we have Cody again. Lots of picks for Cody. Lots of picks for Zach. Who will win? We'll find out soon. Find out very
That's
soon,
true.
actually. Um, and I think Cody here, it's tough because like lots of his holes aren't probably gonna be here, and I think could look at online here. Don't think Cody quite needs it as much as he needs a good middle linebacker, and I think yeah maybe this guy's not good. I don't think he's that good to be honest. Like overall wise, I hate mocking people like this, but it's a need. It's
Hmm.
definitely a need. He has no one in that middle of that defense. He needs a middle linebacker like Floyd Harris, who, even though he might not be good, I think he'd probably be honestly about like 68, 69 overall, truth be told. Okay.
Yeah.
And even his intangible, or his scout or combine's not that good. He has some good stuff. He can tackle, good at stopping the run. I will give him that. But Cody just needs someone, a linebacker, anyone, just uh to help. I think Floyd Harris might not be there to begin with. He's still young enough. He's not 23, not 24. I think he's fine. To be honest, I hate mocking people that aren't I'm ecstatic about. But at the end of here, you're gonna have a couple of them.
Yeah. I like Floyd Harris. Again, like you said, he's not a physically gifted athlete. He's not a freak of nature.
Mhm.
What he does bring to the table is great technique and great. Um, he tries hard. Very
He
high
does.
motor
He's
guy. For what he has physically, he definitely plays faster on the field than what the combine will tell you. He knows how to tackle. He knows how to wrap up. He also knows when it's time to go for that fumble, to go for that big hit, to go for that strip sack if he is blitzing, which I think he can
mhm
blitz pretty well up the middle
for
because
sure.
he's just that technically sound. It's just he's not an athletic freak. He's gonna have to make sure his technique is perfect to overcome better than perfect to overcome his unfortunate physical attributes.
For sure. Um, Next up, we do have the Panthers again racing for the most picks this draft. Something
Yep.
tells me this might not be the last move for either the Cowboys or the Panthers. That just is
Well,
my
I
gut
mean,
feeling.
I guess yeah, pick for pick
They
trades
could make some pick
are
for pick
fine
trades. I think
for now.
one of them.
Stay tuned.
I think one of them definitely does make
Hmm.
another splash.
I
This
think it's
isn't
the
even insider. This is
Panthers.
not insider information. I
No.
know nothing. I knew a little
Yeah.
bit about the earlier trade about him trading to 1-7. I don't know about anything else. So I don't know if Zach's even still listening. I hope he makes a move. Maybe I don't. Actually, I don't hope you make moves. I hope you stay.
Yeah,
It's better for me, honestly.
that's true.
Um, Again, it's weird here. I hate making a double dip, especially, but I think in this class you're just gonna have to accept the double dip for one.
Yeah.
And I think here you take by far the best player available. I still left. Um, I think even if God, he hates 24-year-olds. I know Zach hates 24-year-olds, so this isn't gonna happen. He'll ignore this guy, but I think he
No.
goes Eli, Garvin, uh, despite him not liking 24-year-olds. Garvin's by far the best player available, and Zach needs O line help for uh, whoever quarterback he's gonna develop. I think Garvin's pretty decent. He's strong as hell. That's one thing that Garvin's got going for him. He may be 24. He's strong as hell, and he knows how to pass block and he knows how to run block. Exactly what I think you want for a plug and play right guard.
I mean, I have Garvin as well. Like, we're back to back. We're the same on this one. Uh, I don't. I mean, like, he's 24. I have him taking Dawson earlier in the draft, and that really scooted around. Um,
Mhm.
I think he takes another 24. I think he's just going for what should be his method, which should be like get some actual solid guys.
Yeah.
We don't have that many years left anyway. Like take
Uh
some
huh.
actual solid people, and
I could
he
see
can
that.
develop elsewhere. He can develop else. He has like two 23-year-old wide receivers that he can develop.
Mhm.
Right? Like there's people that he can focus on.
Mhm. Especially with this many picks, you're gonna have some
Yeah.
roadblock, like some.
Yep.
You can only focus three people. I think having a 24-year-old to just let be decent while your other guys develop, I think that's not a bad move.
Mm?
All right. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills again, and again we had him earlier going Garrett, and or Alex had him going Gilmore. We saw him actually go Garrett, and so like again with another or pick down here, you do kind of take what you can get, even if it's not the smartest and like most need friendly. Or, but like I could see him realistically. He does have Clancy. That is one thing. Timmy Clancy is a beast. I don't know what you do about that. He has decent people up the middle, not people I would like be dedicated to keeping because they're
Mm-hmm.
alright and old and normals. So I could see him taking Pleasant and bumping one of his guys in the middle. Uh, Pleasant's just still one of the better talents left. And
Mm-hmm.
you're already deving our D line. I think it could happen. It's not a guarantee. It's probably not the smartest pick, but I think double dipping in ends and figuring out because you still need some guys in the middle. Figure out what you want. Maybe trade them for some because they're still decent. But I think Pleasant can be better than them and have you going for the rest of Madden.
I think yes, he did take Garrett. Unfortunately, I was wrong on that end. But regardless, my pick stands on what he should do with 29. I think he should go Peters. I think you should go strong safety. He has a 25-year-old in strong safety, so move one of them to free because his free safety's not that good. Uh, I mean, Braylon Peters is just an all-around solid player, right? Like this is end of the first. You look for solid contributors to the team.
Oh yeah, it's like yes, Peters. I am actually pretty decent. I like safeties. Think he's decent. Can be a good
Hmm.
bruiser for that Bills team. Next up, we have me. Wowie. And this is okay. I've been saving a guy just to mock to me. This guy's really
Yes,
good. He's a bit
I
deeper in
actually
this
also did
draft.
not. Yeah,
He's a bit deeper in this draft, so may have not scouted him. So I mean, tough if you haven't. But maybe you could think
you
about
should
blind
honestly
drafting.
like.
You should blind
I'm gonna
draft
tell you
them.
guys right now. Yeah, I was about to say like, guys, Tyler didn't want to actually have this. I had to force this because I was like, I'm gonna mock this to you regardless.
And I
So at least
have,
we both mock this to you,
but
and then we can like throw it off.
I have one of my favorite players this draft going to me. I love cornerback Roosevelt Hammond. This dude's a beast out of Temple. His
Hmm.
broad jump, he can almost jump 10 feet, dude. Almost 10 feet. His man is a bit better than the zone, to be fair. Um, but with both those still being listed on his top three, that's actually
That's
I'm
true.
like you just can't go wrong. He can do both pretty decently. I'd really think about taking this.
Yeah, you really don't see a lot of cornerbacks with both man, zone, and awareness in the
Yeah,
top three.
it's
Like
a
that's
good
pretty
combo.
rare.
It's a good
Um,
combo. Yeah.
Usually it's like play rec or press or something like that. But no, like Roosevelt Hammond has all three like important things, um,
He's what
important
you want.
attributes, important skills in this top three. And like to be 22, and he's 6'1", like he can still do some things on the
He's a
outside.
bit lanky,
Um,
actually. He's 6'1"
yeah,
at
like he's honestly,
186.
yeah,
He's
like
a little lanky
yeah.
boy. Um,
Um,
Maybe get his meat on. I don't know. I just don't see
that's
a lot
true.
of downside to him. I can't really put my
No,
finger on. You have him
I,
going.
I wouldn't even say he's that like raw, honestly. Like he's pretty much can come in and be like a solid number two.
Yeah. No, for sure. I am excited to see what this man can do. I hope no. I mean, no one's listening anymore. There's four of you. You probably already picked someone worse than him. Like, go for it. Let him fall to me, please.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was.
Please, 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 please let it fall to Tyler. I mean, should we? I mean,
I don't have.
we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the end. We'll talk about Hammond some more because I really want to talk of him more.
Yeah. Um. Next up, we have the Browns, and sadly, legendary Huey Taters did walk away. He's a bit burnt out from coaching. He's like, what do you do when you're at the top for so long and everyone's hating on you? Like, it's like Belichick. Belichick has very thick skin. Huey Taters just wants to have food. He's like Andy
Yep.
Reid. He's like Andy Reid, but instead of like, he's just bored of coaching. He's done so well. He just wants to eat. He wants to take his food picks. So he moved on. And I love Tato. And I know when you have people trying to stab you in the back with a potato peeler, it's like I can see why you want to leave. So and here comes Keno's. I think he's decent. I'm excited to see how he's never been in AGML before, but I think he can pick up where Tato left off. Hopefully, Tato's like probably the most legendary GM in Sim League history.
Across all leagues, across
Yeah,
any league. Yeah.
he's had so many legendary runs. It's not even funny. But so big shoes to fill, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
But here, I think you gotta. He has a few holes. Tato left the team very good. I love the team still. It's not like
We
Tato
have to have like an in.
sabotaged
Do we have
it.
to have like an in memoriam after like them,
Yes,
like
yes.
when he's over, like all the GMs that left.
Oh, but I think here, you fill one of the holes Tato did not fill. Uh, I think it's a pretty cap strash team, anyways. You'd have a hard time filling them in free agency.
Hmm.
But I think here you just pick up free safety. Again, there's a lot of safeties this draft. Probably because I love them a little too much. But I think you go Rashawn Gilbert out of Richmond. Just another one of those kind of solid players. Can do everything. Maybe not as top end well as the other safeties, but he's decent and he can do. He's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Can do decent in everything. Decent physicals, just decent.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah. I mean, like, again, late round pick. Uh, Gilbert can become something. I mean, you've had success with late round safeties
Hmm.
before. Why not continue that trend?
Yep.
You really can't get much better than what your team is right now, Tyler. Like,
You mean
it's
Tato
a
or
shame. It's a
Kinos?
shame. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, that's right. That was last time we got you at Hammond, the best corner in the draft.
Yeah.
Browns as well. I mean, like Browns as well. Like they're just so broke. Uh, they're starting to get old. They're starting to fall apart. Um,
Mhm.
well, that's just. I mean, that's just the nature of picking 132 for the last
Yeah.
5 years. Um, but they still need safety help for sure. They only have one safety on the roster. Gilbert comes in. He's automatically a starter just off of depth alone, and that's not bad. Gilbert will
Mhm.
perform well. That Browns team will keep chugging along.
For
And
sure.
then end it off, Zach,
Zach,
Panthers. Never. This is first pick, I believe, all draft.
I believe so. I haven't seen him uh like pick at all. Like
Yeah.
strange for how much he shaved off to not get more than one
Any
first.
first round picks, yeah.
Ah,
Such a
um
dang shame. I knew he was bad as a GM. It's just like I just thought he'd have a little more trading prowess.
yeah. I don't know. Well, here you're kind of strapped for what's left. There's a lot of the good players are gone. You have some all right players, but nothing like too flashy. I think here, even though it's not an immediate need, you get a young guy in the middle. You get a defensive tackle, Jamison Lofton. He kind of did fall from the real projected. He was projected in Madden to go higher in the first, so he has a red diamond. But man, he's just so good. Like he's a good power rusher. He's he can he actually has really good physicals too. He's strong and he can get off the line, lock up against the center, the guard, maybe even beat him. Again, he's kind of a lot like both Finley, the running back that we mocked the Patriots, and also what's his face? Riles, where they're both he's a little bit of a fall, but I think even though he's a red diamond, he's still good. And like Riles, he's very smart. He knows like he can tell the play. He he won't get fooled by play action. I really like even if he's not the best, I think Lofton wouldn't be a bad last pick of this draft or first round.
Hmm. Yeah, we both. I mean, we both go defensive tackle. I think Sinclair's a little better. Sinclair's an early second diamond. Shouldn't be saying that. He's a bit older. Wow. I have a Panthers taking a lot of older people. So I feel like I'm gonna be wrong on a lot of those. Um, I like his pass rushing move. I think again, late if you're gonna go late, you're gonna want someone that at least can pressure the quarterback or stop the run exceptionally well. And I think Sinclair can do both of those pretty decently.
Mhm.
Uh, he's just a little old and a little slow, but if he can overcome that with his technical skills, I mean, nothing. He can be a decent 132, which we really don't get a lot of.
For sure. But anyways, that's the first round. Um
Yeah,
again, I think
I
it's
I,
clear.
I
This
do
is
want to talk about that 130.
sure.
Your pick,
You
Tyler.
want to be real?
I just don't. I feel like that's as I know we're badmans.
Look, I
I know
mean,
that,
I hope
but we don't. I
whoever's
mean, like,
this
but we have three new people
sure.
as well. Three new GMs that just joined.
Oh God, yeah.
Shouldn't be doing.
We
This is not the mock draft to do this. And let's just be completely honest about Hammond.
Hammond's literally one of the worst players I've ever seen in Madden. Straight up, like this dude is garbage.
I'm just gonna make sure. Hold
This
on, I'm
is
just gonna post him. I'm just gonna post him. This is not. I just don't want this. This
and
is
like
not
I didn't
something that I
even
want to
mean for
fuck
it to be
with.
like a smoke screen. Like I wasn't being like
Yeah.
I'm gonna fool them for who I take. Because honestly, I don't know who's gonna be there, and it's probably gonna be. I'll even tell you who I'd probably pick there. I'd probably pick
I had you go Vernon, the guard.
the guard. I'd
Just
probably
because
let's see.
you like
I
O
think
line.
he's a left tackle. Yeah, I like Brendan
Mm.
Lee. Brendan Lee is
You like
probably
Lee? Okay.
who I'd end up picking if I had to pick of who was left when I picked. He's fine. He's O
Mhm.
line. Nothing flashy, but he's good at protecting the passer. And I think he has
Yeah.
some decent skills for what's left. But again, uh he's not Hammond by any means. And
No. No,
but like
definitely not.
Hammond is at some level, God, F awareness.
Like I want to take him eventually. Like one of my like 6th round picks, I'll have him there.
I hope I take him.
I just want to see. I just want to see him. I
Do
just
you
want to
think he breaks
see.
the 50 barrier?
No, I think
You
he's
think he's 40 like
definitely like
7?
he's like a 48 or
Yeah,
47 at best.
I'm excited. Uh,
Whoever gets him though, we'll make him like an X
we
Factor,
will.
honestly, because he deserves it.
I mean, I could legit as a badman. I'll probably make. I'll probably be like, yeah, I can make him a star. If you're gonna dedicate time
Yeah.
to dev this fucker,
You mean
if
he's not a star already?
if you're gonna dedicate
He's
time to
obviously a
develop this
star in the
fucker,
making.
you deserve star dev. Like, honestly, I would. I can't do promise anything more than star because that's
That's true.
broke.
That's true. That's
But we can
true.
pretend he's a Herod Rule winner. He's best quarter defensive back in our hearts.
Yep.
But
Well, that's the draft. I think that went for like 2 hours.
yeah, it's a bit. It's a little under 2. But I feel like most of y'all got some useful information. Hopefully you found
Mhm.
some of the. Especially this is such a top-heavy class, so hopefully you can find maybe some of the more hidden gems that throughout here. That's probably better than some of the other project Madden projected firsts. Because
Yeah.
Lord knows there's way too many of those that aren't actually good. All right. Well, see you guys in Slack. Take it easy. Good luck drafting to those who haven't taken their pick yet.
Yep. Stay tuned for the next podcast, which should be the quarterback ranking.
Yeah.
Our
Um,
three
I'm
season
excited
quarterback
about
ranking
this.
is up. I'm
Um,
very excited.
it's a good distance so we can compare what they were while
Hmm.
still like have so it's like not that much change but just enough change to still be like how did they pan out. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see how that goes. Excited to see how this draft actually turns out. See if it's as bad as I thought it would. But okay. Glad you whoever all three of you guys who are still listening, have a good night. Um Everyone on YouTube, have a good whatever time it is. Peace.
S- and then yeah, stay tuned for the live draft announcement as well. We'll get that
Yeah.
out soon.
Alright. Take it
All
easy.
right. Have a good one.